Like to call to order the December 15th, 2021 Monroeville Planning Commission meeting. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a quick moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Sharon, if we could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Bakusa,
Here.
Mr. Conway,
Here.
Ms. Kripta,
Here.
Ms. Montgomery. Here. Mr. Walker.
Here.
Mr. Weldon.
Here. Thank you. We have the regular meeting minutes from November to approve. Seek a motion for that.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Opposed?
No.
Okay.
And move on to old business. Paul?
All right, our first item, the Manila Group, 21-8-ST, requested to be tabled. So I entered their letter into the file. So if we just make a motion to accept their tabling, we'll move on to the next item.
All right. I'll seek a motion for the table.
Make a motion.
Motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion to table is approved. And then new business. Paul, please.
All right, our only other item is 21-7-C, a Little Learning Lab. Applicant is requesting conditional use approval to operate a child care facility pursuant to Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended, section 40.9, 401.9. The property is located at 2553 Mossad Boulevard, tax parcel 857 M300 in the C2 Business Commercial Zoning District.
Okay, the applicant could come forward. Did you sign in, ma'am?
I did not.
Okay, if you sign in and just state your name, please, for the record.
Okay, my name is Lisa Whitney. I'm the architect for the, representing the owner who's out of town right now. I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
No problem.
So the proposal is to convert the existing dance studio into a daycare center. The daycare center is intended to have under 100 kids at any time. We believe that there is enough parking on site. The only exterior changes that we would like to make involving the site are restriping the parking lot, patching and repairing the parking lot as necessary, adding the accessible parking spaces required, and then we'd actually also like to add an accessible ramp that leads to the basement level and a playground that's sort of tucked in towards the back of the site.
So you, is daycare going to occupy the entire building?
It is.
It is,
yes.
okay. And that's what, 2 floors plus the basement then? Is,
It's actually a split level, so
Okay.
it's a basement and then an upper floor.
okay. Any questions from planning?
So there's 6 meters there, 3 electric and 3 gas, indicating there's 3 units in there. You're going to take over all 3 and have just 1 electric and 1 gas meter?
That is correct, yes.
So there's, when you drive up to it, there's a first floor and a second floor. There's no basement?
No, we were calling it a basement level because it is below grade, but in fact, there's just 2 floors, so it's a lower level and an upper level.
Yeah, it's a hillside.
Yeah.
You'll use both.
Correct. Yeah,
Both
I actually
levels.
did bring the floor plans if anybody would like to see them. And these have already been through plan review and been approved, and they've already been through Allegheny County Plumbing also. So I'm not sure if it's better if I do it here and then you can see it on the monitor, or if you'd like to, I can pass them around for you. But
This will be
basically,
difficult, but-
I can talk through them a little bit. So the cover sheet just lists the building code information. The first page in the drawing set shows that when you walk in, the front door, essentially you come in, and again, it's a split level. So you would either go up the stairs to the upper level or down to the lower level. And if you go down, we're going to have a registration area there, which leads to basically the primary childcare spaces. So it's a large childcare area for the children through age 5. And then there's an infant space off to the side that's separated with a full height wall. There's also a restroom and then a kitchen on this level and drinking fountains and an office. And then if you go up to the upper level, that floor is going to have a classroom for older kids when they do after-school programs and summer programs, and then an arts and crafts room and a game room for those kids, along with more bathroom space, and then the mechanical and electrical room. And then this actually just is a blow-up of that playground. It's just a fenced-in area that we'd like to install some play structures, and what they were looking at was for smaller children play structures, so something like this tunnel and something like this slide. So we haven't finalized anything, but something in this general idea. And then these are enlarged restroom plans. And then again, we did want to add an exterior ramp to be able to get to the basement level. So these are just drawings showing that ramp.
Are there residential neighbors on either side, or?
No, it's actually commercial.
It's also
I
commer-
believe it's a heating and cooling company on one side, and I can't remember who's on
They've
the
been
other
no-
side.
They know that there's gonna be a daycare there,
I believe so, yes.
do they have to be notified?
Yes, there was public notice posted, letters went out,
Did anybody respond?
nothing.
You mentioned you believe there's enough parking spaces. How many are there?
How many parking
Okay.
spaces do we have? We had 10 spaces, plus the 11 spaces, plus the 2 handicapped accessible spaces, and one of which is actually a van space required by code.
And there's 100 kids. Is there space for cars to get by each other and turn around? It looks pretty crowded.
We actually have, so the way that we broke down the code is the total number of occupants for the building is 71. So that 71 includes the staff. So actually, the intention is to have, probably more like 75 kids, and then at most, and then the staff that are associated with that. So, I mean, we only did a code summary for 71, but, when you look at how the plumbing fixtures break down, we wouldn't reach 100. I mean, we couldn't, but we wouldn't be allowed to reach 100. I'm sorry, I meant that we had up to 100, but in actuality, it's more like 75 at most. So for the parking, what we have between the parking spaces and the property line is 36 feet. So that should be enough space for two-way traffic and also for people to be able to back out of those parking spaces. And they're really intended more for parent drop-off. For staff, we would have some staff that would need parking, but these spaces are more meant for picking up, dropping off and picking up kids.
So where would the staff put, how many, if you have 75 kids, you have a lot of staff then.
We have up to 12 staff members, but again, that's based on the plumbing code requirements. It's not really based on what their anticipated staff loading is. Their anticipating staff loading was 6, but we had to follow the plumbing code requirements. So that's
half the parking spaces.
it is half the parking spaces. But again, the presumption is that parents would drop off and pick up. They wouldn't be parking there all day.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't be parked there, but I'm just, usually there's a rush in the morning and a rush in the evening to drop off and pick up your kids. And most places I've seen, the parents walk the children in to make sure they're acknowledged they're there. They can't just stop.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's true, yeah.
That seems quite congested, or could be quite congested.
Paul, does that fit within our zoning requirements for parking for a daycare center, or?
I'll have to verify that with the number. I didn't look at it with up to 100 students or pupils, whatever you call the children. and then the number of staff. So we can review that further.
Why don't we review that, yeah. Also, getting in and out of off my side, that's,
It's full access, you're allowed to make lefts and rights. But it is a busy road. Good thing is it's a straight section, you know, you do have some slope there, but you can see, there's no problems with sight distance.
Your drawing doesn't show a back door. There's a back door there.
Yes.
Is it just left out?
There's actually 3 exits. So there's the front entry, and there's the side that has the ramp, and then there is a rear door, that leads out from the upper level. That's correct. Yeah, we didn't show it. It's true, we didn't show it on this drawing. We just showed the footprint of the building.
There's some images on the monitor.
I was just,
if you
yeah,
wanna reference
the
those.
parking actually looks pretty, maybe it's not represented on here that well. It looks
I
like
think it's a
fairly-
little deceptive because the neighboring property, it sort of blends into the neighboring property, and so we base this on the property lines. And so
Okay.
I do think that if you're looking at that, where I think this image is probably taken from standing at the neighbor's property and looking towards the building.
Does it show the fenced-in backyard or whatever?
No, it would be new. We're requesting to be allowed to add that.
what
But
kind
it
of-
would be about where this photo's taken from.
The outside play area.
That's correct, yes.
Any other questions or comments from planning? If that's all we have, any motion? Speak now, or forever hold your peace.
If it's just the parking, you know, I can look at that really quickly, you know, early next week probably.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's a concern to table this. You know, we can work through that before the council meeting.
well, I recommend we approve it then on pending your review of the parking.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, Sharon, please.
Mr. Pacusa,
Aye.
Mr. Conway,
Aye.
Mrs. Krivda,
Aye.
Ms. Montgomery,
Aye.
Mr. Walker.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just gonna leave this here
That's
for you.
fine.
Okay, thank you.
And then the last order of business is I will seek a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.
Very good. Record.